into doing a video interview, whether it's in person or on Zoom, remote, in person, live, whatever. And this also works for webinars and other stuff too. But you're going to love this so much. So I'm going to go through some actionable things, kind of checklist of what you can do, what you can get into when you're doing your next interview, talk, webinar, that kind of thing. Sound good? All right. I've got a checklist for you that you can grab as well. So a ton of things we can go over, but I'm just going to grab a few like key points for you if that's cool. So one of them is when you're starting your interview or your conversation, just memorize your opening. It can be one sentence long, just short, sweet. Just know what you're going to say right at the very beginning, and that's going to make everything so much easier. Same thing for the closing. If you got a closing, maybe the closing is you can get more info by texting me the word interview 530-203-5703. So that'll get you the checklist, but that could be your close. So you're going to have an open, like just something really easy. Hey, if you're doing a webinar or interview and need to know next steps, you're in the right place. Maybe that's your open. And then your close could be that call to action or just something that's like further information, right? So memorizing your open and your close is so good. Now, for the middle of your talk, just pick 2 or 3 key points. If someone's interviewing you and you don't know what they're going to ask, that's okay. You can have 2 or 3 key points kind of ready up your sleeve, maybe a couple stories. Just have those ready because whatever they ask you, they want you to be successful. At least that's most cases, most interviews. They want you to be successful. And so they're going to ask you a question that fits what you're doing with your business, with your company, what you're offering, and having just 2 or 3 stories teed up, ready to talk about, that's going to be perfect. And you're going to be able to use those for the answers, right? All right. So that's something to check in on advance. Just know in advance. Now, preparing and practicing. So keep them short. Keep all your snippets short, what you're going to say kind of short and sweet. When somebody, especially if they're watching the video on social, um, even if you're in person, keep your answers like clear, concise, and just make sure that answer is like something that someone can take away. Okay, I understand that, or I can put that to work. I know how to use that kind of thing. After somebody sees you speak, what would you like them to do next? And so what's the one thing you'd like them to do next? Is that download that like I just offered, get on a call with you, maybe get a little bit more info. Just think about what you'd like them to do next, or if they're interested, what would be an easy next step, and be sure to include that in your interview. Another one is to practice. And so this sounds super obvious, but a lot of us maybe don't want to practice, or feel awkward, don't want to do it. But the thing is, if you can do this in front of a colleague or a soccer ball or the mirror or your best friend, if you can do it with them, it's going to make it so much easier when it comes time to do your session. So just get over that hard piece and go ahead and rehearse with somebody. Doing it with someone else is such a better way to do it. All right. So, if you can, talk with the interviewer or the people that you're going to be working with and find out when you're doing the interview, whether it's live or in person or if it's recorded, that kind of thing. Find out if you can pick up, meaning if I flub, can I stop, pause, and keep going? Is that okay? So can I pick up? Most of the time you can. Another one is, will there be B-roll? So if you're talking about a product or service, is there going to be a cutaway, something that they can go to? And you want to ask them if that'll be there. And you can think about where to put that in your talk, or they'll figure it out for you. If it's being recorded, think about what's in the background. I've got some woods here, but if you're at a trade show or on the street or whatever the thing is, just be sure that whatever's behind you is on brand. It's not half of a word that's weird or competitor in the background, that kind of thing. So thinking about what's in the background is really good. Again, if it's recorded, try to have a nice pause right at the beginning, right at the end. That's a good edit in, edit out point. So many times we'll be doing an interview with somebody and they'll make like a really weird face right before they start. And then we're searching for a good edit in point to make them look good, right? So if you can pause and have a good edit in and edit out point, that is a great way to go. Those are some of the things on the checklist. You can grab the checklist. Just text me the word interview at 1-530-203-5703. This checklist is put together from things that we do when, that I use when I'm being interviewed. We do with clients all the time when they're on a webinar or being interviewed. I just worked with somebody who gave a talk at a show. We went through a lot of these and they loved it and it helped them so much. So grab the checklist and yeah, do great on your next interview, webinar, video, all that good stuff. All right. See you soon. Bye.